Yo, yo, yo. What up, YouTube? We are back again with another video. Today, we are talking about 5 things I hate about the Camaro. There are a few things I hate about this car, believe it or not, so let's get into it. All right, y'all. First thing first, the first thing I do not like about this car is underneath the hood. Now, as you know, this is the LT1 V8. The 3 things I don't like about this car, about the engine, I should say, VVT, DOD, and direct injection. DOD is definitely not reliable. I have a lot of anxiety while driving this car, thinking, okay, one day my lifter's gonna go bad and I'm gonna have to take apart, the whole top end of the engine to fix it. When that happens, hey, it is what it is. But I definitely understand why they had to do it, to meet EPA regulations. Going along with VVT, I was never really a fan of VVT. I think it's, again, unreliable. And direct injection, again, that is one thing that I understand why they had to do. But the thing with direct injection, if you don't know, the injectors are actually inside of the combustion chamber, so the fuel sprays directly in the combustion chamber instead of, a port style to where it has to travel through a port and then go into the combustion chamber. Port style is definitely more reliable because the valves are getting cleaned. That fuel is getting on the valves and it's getting rid of the carbon buildup. With direct injection, that does not happen. So what happens is carbon deposits build up on the back of the valves, and you have fuel economy issues, just normal running issues in general, performance issues. There are things you can do to kind of help with that, such as a fuel induction service. In my experience, there have been a couple cars that I know of that got into fuel induction service and the catalytic converters were ruined because of it. And I'm not talking about, a couple thousand miles. I'm talking, few days after it. And yeah, in my opinion, the LS3 is a superior engine to this car, but on paper, this engine is better than the LS3. Would I get a 5th gen just to get an LS3? That is up for debate. That's a whole other topic. I don't know. But I definitely love this car. Let's get into the next things I do not like. All right, number 2. This car lacks the rawness of other Camaros that I've driven. Now, I've driven a 5th gen, a 3rd gen, and of course my 6th gen. I haven't driven anything else Camaro related. Now, let me set the record straight. This car, driving it is perfect. It's perfect. There's no wind noises. There's no crazy feelings or noises you hear while driving it. It's overly refined to the certain demographic. That is, a perfect car. To me, I want a little bit more rawness. What they could have did to create that more rawness or more raw effect, I don't really know. I guess maybe let me feel the vibrations of the engine, kind of like in those older cars a little more. Maybe let me hear the exhaust a little more, because the exhaust sounds fine on this car, but with all the sound deadening they have in the car, it really quiets it. So that's the second thing. This car is not as raw. It's definitely overly refined, which I can appreciate GM for doing that, because this is a really, really great driver. This is a car that you can take on a long, like 1,000-mile road trip and be 100% comfortable. Like, you will not have no complaints. The seats are perfect, everything. So yeah, let's get into number 3. All right, and then my next complaint is how there is no overhead dome light in this car. It's very odd because my 89 IROC Z has an overhead dome light and this car doesn't, which is weird. I don't know why they did that, maybe to save weight, but whenever I have items in the back seat, it's actually hard for me to see at night because there's obviously no light. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if it's because the 1 SS I don't know if like the 2SS has an overhead dome light. I don't know, but I definitely want an overhead dome light in this car. I think it's very weird how they didn't put one in there. And then I thought to myself, oh, well, it's a coupe. That's why they didn't put it in there. But then again, my other car has one. So I was, I don't know. But anyways, let's move on to the next thing. All right. And now for the final thing that I hate about this car. I hate the skip shift in this car. I have not done any research on it, on how to delete it. I don't know if it is, you know, electronically controlled or if it's something actually in the transmission that makes you do that. But I absolutely hate it. If you don't know what skip shift is, basically whenever you are at lower RPMs, the transmission will force you to go from first to fourth gear. So it'll skip second gear and go straight to fourth gear, second and third gear, and go straight to fourth for fuel economy. Again, it's one of those things that they had to put in the car. And believe it or not, that technology has been around since the 80s. I know the C4 Corvette with the 6-speed, I forgot what that transmission was called, but with that 6-speed transmission, it had that skip shift, and I know guys were deleting it way back in the day. So I'm definitely going to look into that and see what my options are on that. Hell, if I got to pull the transmission to do it, I'll do it. Again, I don't know anything about the skip shift on this car, but I'm definitely going to research it and see how we can move forward from there. But yeah, guys, that concludes today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all own 6th gen Camaros or any Camaro in general, just let me know in the comment section what y'all hate about it, what y'all love about it. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll see y'all later.